Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to the podcast.
Happy Thursday.
I am drinking out of my Simplify
That's good.
Life
Yes.
is Good mug, and I am drinking peppermint tea today.
Nice.
I know, feels
Well,
nice. It's a little chilly, it's raining, and it just feels
mm,
wonderful.
yeah,
What
it's
do you
not chilly here yet. So I just have my lemon water.
drink?
I've got too much stuff going on today. And I was told I need to drink more water. So I'm going to be drinking more water.
I do as well.
Behaving.
I
Hmm.
know. You know what happened? I'm going to tell you what happened at my anniversary. Not my anniversary, a
Oh, I was
friend.
like, you had an anniversary.
No,
Okay.
no. Friends of ours had their 25th anniversary, so we traveled
Hmm.
there. It was like an 8-hour drive from our house. So we traveled, we drove there. Amazing anniversary. There was like, they invited 190 people. I remember thinking, I don't know that I know 190 people, maybe 19, that live like close.
Like that's it.
So we went and it was lovely. And we stayed for a little bit, for a few more days at their place. And another set of friends. So there was like a number of like couples that used to live when we used to live in Great Couch. There was a number of us that we all hung out. We all had moved away from our families. And so
Yeah.
there was just us. Like we became family.
Hmm.
And so our friends were there, and then us, and then another group, like another couple. It was the funnest time. The
Oh,
friends where it's just like you just pick up, like
yeah.
you don't talk, but you just pick up and you don't. What I loved about it is that even though there was some reminiscing, it wasn't all reminiscing.
Hmm.
It wasn't all just sitting there and reminiscing about the past. It was like talking about who we are now. And I think that that is rare. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of times we get back, we don't just like, pick up and talk about anything other than the past when
Well,
we're
you go back into your old role.
exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't this time.
Oh.
What was interesting, I know it was lovely. It was like meeting new old friends,
Hmm.
you know? And so what was interesting though was we were all sitting, my friend Carla, it was her anniversary and she planned this big huge thing. And who she is to me is a party planner.
Hmm.
When the
You've
kids were,
talked to me about her before.
oh yeah, like I mean, she's amazing at party planning and love to do it. I would like rather pull out my toenails with pliers. And then my other friend, Karis is her name, I said to her, like they were talking about how they didn't like their jobs and how they're like looking forward to retirement in a
Hmm.
few. And I said, it's interesting because we hold on to these jobs because we feel like we need to, we feel like we have to, and I get it. We are looking for a pension or we're looking for like, just the safety and security. But working for the government is not who you are to me. And
Hmm.
so Kara said, well, what do you mean? And I said, well, Carla is a party planner to me, the
Yeah.
core. Paris is like extremely gifted at crafting, at decorating for Christmas, and like just like themes. And I mean, incredible to the point like where if she had a theme of, I don't know, something, she would have like a pair of sparkly shoes that would represent something, right? Like
Yeah.
Alice's shoes, or like she would just go all out and everything is designed with intention.
Hmm.
Every single item in that Christmas decor. And I said, this is who you are to me. And Kara said, could you imagine just being able to do what you love to do all day long and make money for it? And I went, yeah. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
And it was this like aha moment, I think, for them, maybe. Like I said, I like I think what a disservice that we do to ourselves to not follow that.
Hmm.
Like Joseph Campbell, right back to your website. If you follow your bliss,
Hmm.
there will be doors where there were once walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how many people, like, I just keep thinking, like, how many people have that thing? How many people know what it is? Like, they have that thing, but they hold themselves back.
Mhm. And
Probably
why do they hold themselves back? Because they think they can't do it. Oh,
they can't
people
do it.
like
I,
me. Mm-mm,
I'm not worthy of it.
mm-mm. They don't use those words,
No.
but that's the underlying belief.
Yeah.
Our people, we work hard at our jobs,
Right.
and it's supposed to suck.
Yep.
My mother did it. My
Yeah.
grandmother did it. It's just
Yeah.
what we do.
Well, and how many bullshit sayings do we have running through our minds, right? Of, well, don't ever turn your hobby into your work because you'll end up hating it.
Yeah.
Or it's
Yeah.
called work for a reason. No one wants to go there. Everyone hates their jobs. I mean, I could probably come up with 20
Yeah.
bullshit quotes or comments that I've heard over time
Mhm.
that everyone repeats.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I've heard Paul say that because
Yeah.
people will say, you should be a chef
Mm,
because he makes the best food.
wow.
And there are thoughts like to open up a restaurant and have it be
Mhm.
a kid-friendly kind of place and him make just certain dishes. And he even talks about, God, that would be so amazing. Like make certain things and you get choices. And once we run out of food, we're out of food. And he's like, yeah, but then I would hate to cook and then it would be a chore. And it's like, yeah, but yeah, it's
But
common.
you could totally see that for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like you could totally see that. And there would be live music
Oh, for
and
sure.
like just intentionally designed and intentionally curated and the most amazing, cool, like cultured spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh,
One day, maybe.
one day. The thing is, too, I just think, man, like, you know, at the end of our lives, will we think, I think I might have said this last week or maybe on my podcast, but like it's like at the end of our lives, will we think like, I wish I had just tried that? Like
Yeah.
what if I would have just like, why didn't we do that?
It's
Why?
not the things that we do that we're going to regret most at the end of our life.
Yeah,
It's going to be all those things that we didn't try, that
yeah.
we don't know
And
how they could have worked.
all those years that we spend overthinking, regretting, having guilt, shame, I mean, like, or whatever it happens to be, like holding on to negativity. It's like all of those wasted years,
Yeah.
I think we'll regret too.
Oh, 100%. And I
Why
don't
did I spend so
haven't
much
been there.
fucking on this shit? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what I assume
Yeah.
is, and even you see people as they age, they get cranky
True.
because they're pissed. And I will see it in women over 50
Mhm.
that think their life is over. They never took the chances and they think it's too late.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
It's not. But and then they get pissy and don't want anyone else to go out on those limbs
True.
because they didn't do it. And they think, "Oh, well, our time has passed." I
Yeah.
remember when I thought once you hit 40, you were done.
Oh, I know.
Toast.
I know. I think, I don't remember if I said this on the podcast, but when I was in university and I was working at a brew pub, and I was working a table. It was a big, huge table, and it was a birthday party. And so I walked up and I said to the woman, "So how old are you turning?" She said, "I'm 30." And she started crying. She's like, "I hate being 30. It's so awful. I'm old. It's the old," and I said to her, I mean, I was a 20-year-old stupid. And I said to her, "Oh, 20 was really hard for me." What, 20? Are you kidding me? Like, it's embarrassing now that I said this.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh my God, 20. Yeah, of course. You're still young and your boobs are still high." And I'm like, wow, 30. I had nice boobs at 32. Like,
Right.
but like, it was shocking to me that like I kept thinking like I'm 20, and I was disappointed when I turned 20. Are you kidding me?
Were you really, or were you just trying to make her feel better?
I remember feeling like, oh, I'm 20. This seems old. Now I have to grow up. Like, now what am I going to do? I should be responsible. Like, I remember
Mm,
feeling like that. But mostly I was trying to make her feel better. And I was trying to, I don't know,
yeah.
I don't know what I was trying to do. But anyway, yeah, it was weird. And I often think of that moment going, well, she's 60 now.
Yeah.
How is she
How's
now?
she feeling now? Because I mean, at 30, should have said, this is the youngest you will ever be again.
Right.
When I was little and my mom turned 30, she lost her mind.
Really?
Like, well, because she's looking at her life with these two kids, and she's like, no man is going to want me. I am doomed. I am an old maid. My job is just to raise these kids and be alone until I die.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I remember watching her and seeing the sobbing, and just, it was a spectacle.
Wow.
And it stuck with me. And I remember turning about 27 going, cannot fucking wait to be 30. Like, I was so excited to turn 30, because what 30 represented to me was, I'm going to be an adult. People are going to take me seriously. I'm not going to be just a stupid kid. So that's one piece of it. And the other piece of it was, and I'm not going to lose my mind like my mother did. So there were those two pieces of it. But
Yeah.
man, when I turned 30, I allowed myself to really start becoming who I was. That's when I got into Feng Shui. And it's because I had the confidence to do it at that point, because I'm not just some stupid kid doing some stupid thing. And I remember driving in my car, and I was in the job that I learned about Feng Shui, was in that job. But I kept feeling like it's coming, it's coming. And I kept saying, you're not ready yet. Hang on. It's not time yet. And I don't know if subconsciously that I was just putting the brakes on it until I was 30, or
Yeah.
if it was a conscious choice. I'm not sure which it was, but I just remember feeling like excited, like, oh, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And it was like, not yet, not yet, not yet. And that's when I started getting into feng shui, although very sneakily. So, when I would do my house, I would never say, oh, I feng shuied it. It
Yeah.
was just, okay, how can I follow these rules and make it look normal so no one knows?
Yeah.
That's where it started.
I love that.
Hmm.
I love that. I still do say this to people. It's like, here's the Bagua map. And these are the colors that go well in each area.
And the elements and
But
the,
it will look like a fucking circus tent if you follow this exactly. So I don't want you to do that. I
mm-mm,
want you to choose your design. And if you're looking at Like, what color do I want to put in my bedroom? Look at the map and go, well, it's in the Welfgwa. What color goes there? Purple. I fucking hate purple. Not putting purple there.
Let's go
I love
wood.
purple.
Go get
Right.
some wood.
I love purple. I'm going to maybe put some purple pillows, or maybe I'm going to paint the whole dang thing purple. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, just knowing like that I could create it to be so subtle, but
Yes.
intentional. And so that I knew what it represented, but no one else did. Like, I love that too. And I say to people too, like, you could put something very literal in your fame area. I mean, you could put an affirmation that says, I speak on stage.
Yeah.
People are going to walk in and go, that's fucking weird,
Not
but
that you need to care.
not that you need to care, but you could.
Yeah.
And if it means something to you, then do it. And if it feels good to you, do it more. Like, but it's interesting because, well, I mean, you taught me. So it's not that interesting. It's not shocking. But for me, it was like, how can I know the energy patterns? How can I know how this space will speak to my subconscious mind? And how can I do it in a way that is beautiful and feels right to me and is powerful without looking like I have like a red and gold flute hanging over top of my door
Yeah, no.
and red tassels with gold bells. Like, I never aligned with anything that would be traditional cures.
Yeah. And I have the toad with the coin in his mouth.
Oh yeah, I kind of love him too.
I
The
do have
dog.
one in my area, in my wealth area, and then one in my journey area, and they're facing
Yep.
each other. I mean,
Yep.
there's
Yep.
walls and stuff between them,
Yep.
but they're in that
They're
direction.
linking with tokens. Yep.
But that's more because the story of it feels good. And I have a Ganesh that is in the doorway to my abundance area, which is our bedroom.
Mhm.
And so I put him at the edge of the door. And so every time I see him, I'm like, oh, thank you for removing all the obstacles. Little things like that, that I'm sure people look at and go, what is that? And I don't care. I have a Buddha in our
Mm.
wisdom area. No,
Yep.
in our helpful people and travel area. And that is another one that I put up against the door. And then I have a Buddha on our front porch. And I remember when I first got the Buddha, there was somebody that completely lost their mind because I had Buddha in our front yard. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it was a whole rumor of Lee's
Oh
Buddhist
dear.
now. And I was like, oh my God, can I not appreciate a Buddha without being a Buddhist? Like,
Yeah.
so it's funny the stories, but it's
Mhm.
just interesting talk, I suppose. But whatever we choose to put, they need to be meaningful. And right now I'm on that map kick.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. It doesn't have to be a gold flute or
No.
like that waving cat, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be, it can be a map that is massively meaningful to you that suggests like, where am I going in the world? Like,
Yeah.
what can
Where
I,
is all my abundance coming from?
right. It's
Yeah.
like whatever we make it mean. Idea of like waking up and having something remind you of where you're going.
Yeah.
Like, what is like, because we like when we're sleeping, our subconscious mind is like running havoc. Like I
Yeah.
said, one of my podcasts, it is like a tiny little kid with a lighter in a paper factory. Like it is just creating fucking problems all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And so we're dreaming about, thinking about all of the limiting beliefs and all of the shit and all of the traumas and all of the guilt and all of the shame and all of the stuff. That's what,
Or
and
we're thinking about all the amazing things coming our way.
if we program it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so for me, in like going to bed and programming it,
Hmm.
this is what I'm into now, is like affirmations
Mhm. Look
And
at
then
you, affirmation queen, Miss. I don't do affirmations.
I know, like, I know I am
Mhm.
obsessed with affirmations.
Mhm.
Whereas before I thought affirmations are bullshit because I'm just lying to myself. No, I am intentionally telling a story that I
Yeah.
want to believe at some point. And that's what they are to me now. I needed to make it mean something different than I had meant it before,
Yes.
that it meant to me before. And I think sometimes too, it's like you could have told me affirmations are great. Affirmations will change your fucking life.
Mhm.
This is what
Mhm.
affirmations mean to me, but I couldn't hear it.
No, you needed to get there on your own.
I needed to get there on my own.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I
So,
mean, I feel so grateful that I have.
yeah,
And
you were ready.
I never thought I would say that. I thought I was going to be the like, nope, not for meditations, affirmations, or journaling. Nope, 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 not for me. And I have been wrong.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
three.
So this week, oh my goodness, gave my speech on Monday. Went so good and had a great turnout, had an engaged audience, connected, and it was interesting because I was calm,
Mhm.
like worked all day, came home from work, and I said, okay, gonna do a meditation before I go, just to clear my mind and focus. So I did that, got up, got dressed, had a beautiful Robert Graham dress that I put on, and told Lily and Paul and Easton I'll see him later, and went up there, and I was getting a little nervous, but still calm, like, wow, you're fucking doing this.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
doing this. And I get out, I start walking in, and there are moms walking who I assume are going to be there because we're at this back entrance. And I'm like, fuck Lee, you're overdressed because they are super casual. And then it was like, you can't use this as an excuse to diminish yourself. Like, you got to, you're here, you got to show up. And all of a sudden, I kind of touch my hands together and they are wet. And my internal, like the way my nerves were feeling, didn't reflect sweaty palms.
Mm,
You know, it was interesting that I was just aware of it. I was like, well, that's weird. And so I'm trying to kind of dry them off because I'm knowing that I'm going to shake people's hands when I walk in the fucking door.
oh.
It was fine, but my body's reaction was super interesting. But it went really, really well, and
Mm,
it was over, and I was excited, like, "I did it, it's done," and I came home, and it was almost like, "Well, of course I did it, and it's done." It was
mm.
it was the weirdest, like, I didn't come home and I was like, "Ah," crazy like I thought I was gonna be, like, "Of course you did. Next,"
Mm.
kind of thing. And then I went to the chamber lunch, and I got ambassador of the month, which is a silly thing, but it's a fun thing because it's nice to be appreciated. But these things are happening and they're not shocking,
Mm.
but they're exciting. And it's like, yes, but of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
that it just feels like the next logical step for me. But it also, as I relax, don't worry about these things. And then watching it flow in. Everything is like that. When we just relax about it all and
Yeah.
stop trying to force it or make it happen or tell stories about it.
Well, and like even I talk about when I talk to anyone about manifestation, I talk about the signature being fun, surrender, and gratitude.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be fun. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when I do this? Like, imagining in, like, just having fun with it, relaxing it, being grateful that you're asked, being grateful that you are in this space, and surrender. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like this manifesting signature that you stepped into. I also think, though, that you have this energy of, well, of course, this fits for you because you're already vibrating at the
Yes.
frequency of someone who would speak to a couple hundred women, who would be empowering, who would dress like she wants to fucking show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's just the vibration, it's the frequency that you are vibrating at.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel like it's a shocker
Right.
because already vibrating at that frequency. How cool. And
Yeah.
what is your next frequency going to be like?
Because we're always elevating and we're always growing, and we never want to stay stuck. And
Mhm.
where I sit right now, when I look around at what I have created and allowed, I'm like super, super, super grateful. And then I realize, Leigh, you're not done.
Right.
And then it a little mind blowing because it's like, holy shit, what's next? In the
Yeah.
best possible way.
Mhm.
What will I create next? And then it's, what do I want? What do I want? And I can see some changes coming,
Yeah.
but there are some things with some of the volunteer work I do that I see changing a little bit that might be going in a direction that doesn't feed my soul.
I think it's amazing, though, to sit in awareness of that because sometimes we get stuck just continuing on because we've started.
Right.
And when it doesn't fit to who we are, who we have evolved to, or it doesn't fit for us right now anymore. It did before, and we're grateful for it, but now it doesn't.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When we can sit in awareness of that and go, this isn't right for me anymore. I feel like it's not a good fit.
Yeah.
And we can take that step for us
Yeah.
away from it. We open ourselves up to so much more
Mhm.
instead of holding on to it because we feel guilty, because we feel like we have to, because so many people are, expecting this from us.
Right.
But the awareness is so damn
And it
powerful.
was interesting because it was in an instant. I really want to go into a different kind of service
Mhm.
and work with a different kind of group that works with different kinds of people, because more from a heart perspective where it's really doing something for people. This was more a community effort,
Right.
and I'm excited. So it's just interesting, the evolution of what I can do now as a 52-year-old woman,
Exactly.
that I don't owe anybody anything.
Exactly.
And I can say, that's not a fit anymore. Love you. Good
And,
luck. But I'm
and
going
thank,
to take my talents over here.
yeah, I
So I
love it. Okay. I think we're out of time.
think we are out of time. So this was good. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.